It is another beautiful day. Welcome to another edition of Insightful Moment. I am Jare Tiamiyu. Today, we shall continue what we have started in the last two episodes, and that has to do with assessments of the cabinet of Governor Gboyega Oyetola, and then what has been their impact on the people of Osun State. We are going to be speaking with opposition today. You could remember that we have spoken with the Honorable Commissioner for Women and Children Affairs, Olubukola Olaboko, during our 27th edition, and last edition we had the Honorable Commissioner for Health, Dr. Rafiu Isamat, and today we will be speaking with a member of the PDP. They will also be assessing the government, their criticism, what exactly are they saying, and where they think that the government should look into. And our guest today shall be Mr. Akintunde Bello Sheriff. Mr. Akintunde Bello Sheriff is a member of the PDP, and he will be telling us what his opinion as far as the opposition is concerned about the government or about the cabinet of Governor Gboyega Oyetola. Stay tuned, I'll be right back.
In 2018, the good people of Osun State massively voted for Governor Gboyega Oyetola. The mission was to bring in the Ileroluwa to their lives. Month after month, the governor has continued to change the narratives and redefining governance, putting people's need as topmost priorities.
As a government, our policies and programs are driven by citizens' needs.
Topmost on its agenda are prompt payment of workers' salaries without leaving the senior citizens who earn pensions behind. Osun has witnessed massive infrastructural development as several roads, bridges, government buildings are wearing new looks. Healthcare revitalization during the era of Gboyega Oyetola.
My commission is work to the glory of God and for the betterment of mankind. God bless you.
Now you can see that Ileroluwa tin shell Osun. Gboyega is working. Osun is progressing.
Okay, yeah, welcome back from that very short break. My guest is here with me. He goes by the name Mr. Akintunde Bello Sheriff. Mr. Sheriff, thank you for being part of the show.
I thank all our viewers at home, and I want to specially greet you and your members of staff here. Thank you for having me.
Sir, let's look at it from this perspective. Governor Gboyega Oyetola last year, sometimes the last week of October, he inaugurated his cabinet after 11 months in office. As an opposition member, what can you say about the performance of these commissioners? We'll come down to most critical ministries, but generally, what can you say about the performance of these commissioners?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. For me and for us generally as an opposition in Osun State, we have our vehement reservation as to how the APC government in Osun State has progressively, established the culture of unseriousness when you want to factor in the delay that they have now normalized in the appointment of the cabinet members. I mean, for crying out loud, why will it take a governor 11 months to constitute a cabinet? You will observe that was exactly the same alarming situation that we found ourselves when the predecessor to this current governor was there. It took even longer time that time. So it boils down to the unseriousness and the unpreparedness of the APC government in Osun State. Thank God we have basis for comparison. The PDP has governed here, and the people can feel it even till date. And we have the nostalgic feeling. You understand? As a government, as a party, we are too serious to leave the component, a major component of government like the cabinet composition out idly for so long a time. A governor that is prepared from the day of campaigning must have been envisaging how he wants the cabinet to look like. So you have got to hit the ground running upon assumption of office. It is a no-no in the first place that they are having to, cause a gridlock for the people. For the 11 months that they don't have people manning government structures, government was on sabbatical, and it is a shortage for the people that voted. Now, coming down to the question.
Before you go into that, I would like to come from that point that you said. When we have cabinet members, they are going to be on salaries, allowances, all this and that. One of those people who are of the opinion that not having the cabinet for that 11 months was like an opportunity to save the state from the expenses that will, follow the appointment of the commissioners.
Mr. Jare, I'm a realist. My name is Akintunde Bello Sheriff, ABS.
Okay.
I'm a realist. And we have a realistic opposition in Osun State.
Okay.
And I speak the voice of the opposition. If you say they have kept money for the long time that the government was idly, not in place, what has they used the money that they have kept for that so long a time? What has the governor used it for? The pensioners are still there, unattended to. One of the promises this government and the governor made was that they are going to pay arrears of outstanding salaries running to over a year. They have not paid a dime. So did the people feel the impact of these savings? So it goes down to say that the APC is an unserious party, and if the PDP gets an opportunity again, it doesn't take till eternity before Governor Oyetola constituted his cabinet, both the first term and the second term.
Let's now go to the question I asked earlier. In general, can you say with all sincerity now that the cabinet has performed or otherwise?
It's a relative thing.
Okay.
What faces you will definitely be backing me. But the idea is that the consensus of the majority matters here.
Yes.
If you walk down the street of Osun State to have an examination of what the people feel, you will get the feedback that people still think that nothing much has been done. In fairness, now in education, for example.
Okay.
In education, for example, we know that there is this provision for students, to use the scholar bus, what they call the scholar bus.
Okay.
On daily basis to get the issue of transportation resolved. The scholar bus, where are they? As pressmen, I think you people should probe where are the scholar bus again. They are no longer on our roads. So these are some of the things that I will use to judge them that they are not doing, so good.
Okay.
That is in education. We have not had any story that the rating of our students in external examinations has, become anything better, even though it was a gory situation before we got here in the recent time. We have not heard that the situation has been, altered positively. The teachers have been there. The past government built some of these mega schools to their credit. What will you say this man has done, this new man has done? In Earth, for example, they are building Earth posts made possible from grants from the international organization or community.
Okay.
What in specific reference has this Osun State government done in the health sector? If you go to the health post today, you will discover that you don't have access to drugs as common as paracetamol, they prescribe for you to go and buy at the pharmacy at your own cost. And we say we are running a free health regime. I'm coming.
Okay.
Come to the infrastructure now.
Okay.
Infrastructure.
Okay.
And I think this is the area that will interest the people. The government is always quick. The government is always quick to say that they are building roads, they are doing infrastructure, particularly at the Ministry of Works. Sincerely, we have got to stand up to confront some of these lies. Chief Bisi Akande was governor here in Osun State. I knew what the infrastructural face of Osun used to be at that time. Bisi Akande built the state government secretariat in Nabere, and that was an AD government. Oyetola came, he built the government house. That was a PDP government. He built the multi-campus university, state-owned university, the only one that we have. You understand? He built the NYSC camp. These are infrastructure that we can lay claims to. What has this government built? But before Mr. Jare, I'm coming. What has the government built in terms of infrastructure, in terms of works? The roads that they are building, to be fair to them.
Yes.
The roads that they are building, it calls for questioning if a vice chancellor has been reduced to do the work of an assistant, newly recruited assistant lecturer. What the state government is now doing some trunky, simple roads, basically are works for local government chairmen to do.
We'll go on a very short break now. I want you to hold it there. But when we are back, I would like you to take you through some turbulence that the state has gone through, especially in the 365 days that these commissioners and special advisors are spent in office. Most especially, we have to consider the fact that there was a 6-month break when we had COVID-19, and it actually affected a lot of things. And also, you also comment on the response of the state to the COVID-19, and I want you to know that that one was actually spearheaded by the Commissioner for Health. And we'll go into infrastructure, then we'll go deep. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm inspired by what Inside Links Media, what they are doing. They are doing a very, very good job, and I want you to keep listening to them. Thank you.
Education is the power. Education is the key.
Education is key. Education is light. Education is power. However, quality education is what can unlock potentials, illuminate ignorance, and fight illiteracy. Finding this type of quality education is becoming a challenge. But I have found a school where quality education abounds. Ibadulai Group of School and Ibadulai Caliphate College, Ilobu. At Ibadulai schools, they combine both Western and Islamic education. Their classrooms are conducive with fully equipped laboratories, ICT center, and library. The school is blessed with caring and quality teachers who make school environments comfortable for pupils and students. Ibadulai Group of School is located at Atoyebi Estate, Konda area, Ilobu, Osun State. Telephone 0803 501 2533 or 0706 225-8520 at Ibadulai Group of School and Ibadulai Caliphate College. Quality education is our watchword.
Yeah, I come back from that very short break. My guest is still here with me. Is Mr. Akintunde Bello Sheriff, ABS. He's a member of the opposition PDP. And the topic we are examining today is what we have started earlier. And that has to do with the 365 days of Osun cabinet under Governor Gboyega Oyetola. Mr. Akintunde Bello Sheriff, thank you for staying with us. So let's now go into this. As I said earlier, there was about 6 months that the whole country, even the world, was actually on break, and that has to do with the COVID-19 pandemic. And when we are talking about the activities of these commissioners, especially these present commissioners, we cannot rule out the fact that we had COVID-19 during their 365 days. What have you factored that one in before you said they did not perform?
Well, the commissioners are marking their 1 year in office.
Yes.
But it should be noted that the government itself is now 2 years.
Yes.
In reign. In the reign of power, remaining an outstanding of 2 years for them.
Yes.
Now, about the COVID-19 issue, COVID-19 is a universal development.
Yes.
But you see, the way and manner that each leader respond during crisis will define them. I wrote something on my social media some time ago that this season will define Oyetola for a long time to come. And what do I mean? Now, we regret that the COVID-19, experience was with us. However, we are praying to God that God should mitigate it and let the world be healed completely. Within that period, let it also be on note and in record that there was never any month that the state government did not receive subvention from the federal government in terms of revenue allocation.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So on that basis, we expect the government to be running.
But
now,
we have to consider the fact that they are spending money to fight the COVID-19.
They may be spending money, but we will ask on what? They created a camp in Ejigbo, isolation center in Ejigbo. You have the video, I have the video, everybody have the video, where supposed patients who are at the isolation center were groaning that they didn't attend to them. They are not giving them good food. The facility there is even an eyesore. So on what are we spending money on?
What about the test? The amount each test costs?
Each test, well, I understand that the testing center is at Ede.
Yes.
You understand, and is a private university owned testing center. I wouldn't know how much they charge. I don't have corona and I don't pray to have corona. But the truth of the matter is that how much people are the government tested. And by the standard recommendation, they are not doing anything. You understand? You are not expected to wait until people make an alarm that they are susceptible to corona before you take custody of them for testing. They are supposed to be going on the street, joining the people at home to carry out testing. The government is avoiding responsibility. And I tell you, within this time, the federal government released money. His Excellency Yaya Bello, the governor of Kogi State, granted an interview less than 2 weeks ago that there is no state governor in Nigeria that didn't really receive money, in the excess of 1 billion naira as aid to mitigate the coronavirus of a thing. Our governor didn't disclose to us until Yaya Bello told us that he took money.
The governors of other states, even the PDP governors, have not said anything that they received money. Not to go back
Mr. Jare,
I
hate this narrative.
Okay.
When people try to say other governors or other states are not doing something, so because of that, it's a justification for us to remain penurious
it
in our
was
state.
Governor Yaya Bello.
I will say if other people are going to hell, will I want to join them in hell because they are going to hell?
So are you also saying that your governors, the PDP governors who did not say that, are also are in the same category?
Let the people of other states judge their governor. Me, I'm in Osun State and I'm a critical stakeholder here. I have a responsibility.
You are a member of the PDP.
Yes, now.
And then the PDP is a national party. Oyetola
is responsible to me in Osun State. I have my franchise here. I pay my obligation here to government. So it is my right, to take up the government. So I will speak about my experience in Osun. Other people living in other places can talk about their experience over there.
I'm just trying to, let's say how we can compare.
So they took money from the federal government and they are taking their regular allocation. So we cannot expect the government to be in inertia.
You said that.
Sorry, I'm coming. Okay. Look at the present challenge that we have on our hand in Osun State. A situation whereby the government, ordered palliative materials that was meant for the general good of the ordinary masses. until the people discovered that they are hoarding the materials and they went there to go and cut it and loot it and whatever English that you can use. I am not trying to justify crime. I am not trying to say that we should be aggressive, but then our government deserves to treat us well. Where is the fear of God? If you have taken delivery of items free of charge for over 5 months and you are keeping, and yet people are suffering on the street. The ones that they said they distributed at that time, one tin milk, 2 tin milks of rice. What will it do in the life of the people? While you have donations inside the house, people have come up with the judgment that they are perhaps keeping those palliative so as to save until election time for them to redistribute. I think that
narrative, the government has said the narrative is from your members, the members of
a member of the cabinet of Oyetola told us when they took delivery of this palliative
Commissioner for
information from a very sincere woman. She told us since when the government took delivery of the cattle feed materials. After how many months are they now? The press secretary to the governor later came to do a damage control that these materials were gotten 2 weeks ago. Whereas I'm from the host community where the palliatives where the palliatives are kept, I can tell you on good authority that my kindred, my people in Ede, took cognizance that more than 70 trailer loads entered the cocoa processing industry in Ede to deliver these items for over 5 months. In tandem with what Funke Egbemoni told us. So why is Mr. Ismail Omikwidan, why is he trying to cover the truth by saying that it was 2 weeks ago? You see, almost everything in Nigeria now, to be fair, we should not limit to Osun State. Almost every facet of government has been privatized. The people now take responsibility. Government is supposed to provide water, they are not providing it, so the people took to the alternative of digging boreholes, drilling boreholes by themselves. People have gone. I have a community where I reside. The community will contribute money to do some fundamental things, like when we don't have electricity, we do it on our own. We are not waiting for government. People even go to as far as turning rules on their own. So it is as bad when the government is avoiding responsibilities. Yeah, coming down to Osun State, fine, we see a few of the health centers that they are painting and repainting.
Is it painting?
A large chunk of it have been repainted.
So is it painting or renovation or revitalization, as the government put it?
If you say revitalization, you are just playing around grammar. They are repainting. Some of these structures are health centers built since the time of His Excellency late Governor Adeleke. So when somebody now come and repaint, they are going as far as repainting the roofs. In fairness to the Honourable Commissioner for Health, you understand, we can see a few things like I have told you now. They are painting and repainting and building fences. But health is wet. Health is more than that. Health is you assessing the facility and getting the requisite what is it called, experience back, requisite attention back. When you go to a clinic and you can't access drugs, what is the essence of all the painting on the wall?
As we are winding down now, let's quickly talk about the crisis in your party. Because all what you are saying now is that your party is going to do better and better. But some people will ask that your party is now crisis classified. That is something I read from the social media this morning. That in fact, you are also aware that many people from the opposition at the APC are asking who is the chairman of the PDP, who is the chairman of the PDP. If I ask you today, who is the chairman of the PDP?
A party has its internal mechanism. We have leadership structures. We have our NWC that oversee the affairs of the party generally. The NWC has appointed, a chairman for us in Osun State. and that is Sunday BC.
Are you going to say that the NWC is bigger than the law court of the land?
That is not the issue. You see, the PDP, like in other normal setting, it cannot be immune to a matter of diversify interest. What you see is just a struggle for power. It's not crisis.
So you and I are speaking today. Who is the chairman of the PD?
The ex parte order is a short-lived phenomenon.
Oh yes.
Which will lapse as soon as the defendant are able to make representation to package it.
As we speak today, who is the chairman of the PD?
As at yesterday,
today.
Honorable Sunday BC still presided over party affairs, and it will interest you that people of Obokun local government PDP,
Sir.
where the former chairman comes from, were with the new party acting chairman yesterday.
All those that you are saying are still internal.
To show
what
support.
I am saying, my question is that as we speak today, in view of the court order or court injunction, whatever we call it, who is the chairman of the PDP as we speak today?
Honestly speaking, I know Sunday BC to be Osun State PDP chairman, but in reference to the development yesterday, I will not be a party to the impugning of the judiciary. However,
that is exactly
however, I will speak to the legal advisor of the party to hear his opinion, and that will inform my own judgment. And I hope to be back here to answer your question. Okay. I wish Honorable Sunday BC best of his the tenor.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Bello Sheriff. Please join me on the other side.
Lomi Pidna, Chief Press Secretary to Governor Gboyega Oyetola of the state of Osun. Keep watching Inside Media.
That was a very heated session with Mr. Akintunde Bello Sheriff, ABS. He was able to tell us his own view, and that will be taken as opposition view as far as the administration of the governor is concerned. Why did it take the governor 11 months? And also, what exactly he observes as far as the administration is concerned. Also, he was able to speak about the crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party. Today, as we speak, he was unable to tell us who is the chairman of the People's Democratic Party. He said he didn't know, but maybe we'll take that and then we'll continue to observe what is happening in that party. That is how far we can go. I'm Jare, Tiamiyu. Some other time when we come your way, please stay safe. Bye for now.